It's the National Football League on EA Sports. And if it's in the game, it's in the game. It's the Atlanta Falcons and the Minnesota Vikings on Monday night.
It's one of the NFL's newest venues, but it's already earned a reputation as one of its best. This is US Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. Alongside my partner, Brock Heward, I'm Kate Scott, and this is a matchup, Brock, that we may see many, many times in the future of this league. A couple of rookie starters leading their offenses at quarterback. Will Reichert has it all teed up. And we're off from US Bank Stadium. Here's Jamal Agnew on the return. And a decent return ends as they bring him down inside the 30. So out head the Falcons for their first possession. And leading them out is a master at overcoming adversity before and after being drafted 8th overall in 2024. Out of your alma mater, Washington, it's Michael Penix Jr.
One of the big advantages of Michael Penix coming into the league is it wasn't storybook in college. In fact, he got beat up in Bloomington. Everybody remembers the end at Washington, the runner-up for the Heisman, the national title game, but he took a beating. Injuries derailed many of his years back at Indiana. And I think because of that background, because of all that gets built through that adversity, he's more than ready for everything that comes his way in the NFL.
New slated downs to approach here from the 40. Penix on first down. And a man is there to knock that away. His first target doesn't lead to his first catch. And now it's second down.
I know a DB in the stat sheet loves to see INT and not PBU, but as soon as he realized a pick wasn't possible, he does the next best thing and knocks it away.
On 2nd and 10, it's Penix. Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop it. And that pushes them back. 3rd down coming up.
All right, first sack on the board on the first drive as a defense. And now, well, now we let the chess match begin. The adjustments begin because we know pressure leads to sacks. And sacks in this league often leads to wins.
Vikings defense countering with a nickel look. 3rd down coming. From the shotgun, Penix. He puts him there under a deep throw to the left. This is caught inside the 15. And he does quite a bit of damage before they finally take him down.
Now, right there, that's what you want to see on your opening drive. Boom! Connect on a big shot, and instantly you set a tone that you're not going to be afraid to be aggressive in this game today. Boy, do I love that.
So a massive gain, and all of a sudden we've got 1st and 10 inside the red zone. Working inside the red zone. Too far out of the back of the end zone it goes, incomplete.
Quarterbacks, well, they're a lot like sharpshooters in the NBA. Sometimes they're just going to miss. You got to shake it off and keep on firing.
No dice on that prior pass. Here's 2nd down. Penix here from the gun. This one's caught. And that play is brought to a halt, they're going to say, at the 5-yard line.
As quarterback, when you have an out route versus man coverage, you're just hoping and just praying your offensive guy could turn the hips of that defender. And once you see that, you got to cut it loose and let it go, just as they did right there.
And again, it's Penix. This time they're going to get there, and they drop him. And the defense comes through to back stack them up ahead of fourth down.
Couple sacks on the opening drive. You better get to fix-it mode in a hurry. And I'm talking about on the sidelines. I'm talking as a quarterback. You've got to solve this pass rush because we know one thing about guys in this league defensively. When they get a couple sacks, they can smell it, and they're going to raise the intensity to another level.
So now on fourth down, the Falcons electing to send Young Hui Koo after the field goal. A pretty automatic look for him from the left. The kick by Lutz is good. And the opening drive of the game ends in 3 points.
Well, I know once that drive stalls out, that's where it really pays to have that reliable kicker on the sideline ready to bail you out. And he knocks that one right through to give him the lead.
Out to kick it away, here's Pinion. Ty Chandler to return. He's got a lane up past the 30. And a good return here as he gets it out past the 35. So here come the Vikings taking the field for their first drive of the game. And they're brought out by the 10th pick of the 2024 draft, a national champion at Michigan, J.J. McCarthy.
All J.J. has ever done in his career, no matter where he's been, is win. And there is something to that. I know at times it's hard to measure how much of it was him, how much of it the people around him. Most importantly, just ask his teammates over the years. They love playing with him. That is a characteristic that's important, and I don't think talked about enough, Kate. Do your guys in the huddle want to play for you? Do they believe in you? Everywhere JJ has been, he's lit up that huddle, and success has followed.
After a good pickup, they're set up with second and short. Operating from the gun, it's McCarthy. Has him on the quick hitter. And he's tackled with the first down yardage.
That's just great instincts. Go air it out on second down rather than just play conservative and run it. They hit a weak point in the coverage and don't need to worry about third down at all.
First and 10, ball set up at the 48. First carry here for Aaron Jones. He'll work it a couple of yards past the line. Jesse Bates getting up for the stop that time. Only 2 yards, and it brings up 2nd and 8.
Kate, that's a run that's ho-hum on the stat sheet, but if you see a bigger play on the ground later on, it'll largely be because of a play just like that one, softening up the front and opening the door for a bigger gap in the future.
Second down carry for Jones. And he got it real close, but stopped just about a yard or so shy of that first down.
It's got to be so demoralizing as a defense when you go up against a running back who just keeps those legs churning like a piston in an engine, and that effort's contagious. This entire offense is getting a boost when he busts those tackles.
Third down, here's Jones. And he'll pick up enough to move the chains. We'll pause now for an injured player, and it looks like he's worse for wear after handling that last carry. First down now, ball at the 39-yard line. From the shotgun, McCarthy. Able to hit Mason, complete. And the defense gets there to force a small loss.
Well, there was never a play in any playbook I ever saw designed for a lost yardage play when you throw the ball. But if there's any solace, at least it was first down. A couple more chances to make up for it.
Offense to the line for second down. They kick the running back in motion. Here's 2nd and 11. And he doesn't see a window he likes, so he just got rid of that one. Then brings up third down.
This is why we hear about closing speed so often when you evaluate players. You know, once he senses the pressure, he's getting rid of that ball. It takes a player who can close quickly to get to him before it's released and alter that throw.
McCarthy throwing on third down. Complete beyond the marker. And they finally bring him down, but that is a big gain and a new set of downs. They rip off a big chunk of field, and it sets them up with first and goal.
I have loved this opening script. Aggressive, taking your shots. You know, the numbers tell you get an explosive play on a drive. In the NFL today, you're typically going to score. With that shot down the field, well, they're knocking on the door in the red zone.
They've set themselves up well for an opening drive touchdown here, Brock. It's first and goal. Back to the air, McCarthy. And he rips this one out and over the back of the end zone, incomplete.
Well, you got to have a short memory in the NFL. Incompletions happen. Now you got to make the adjustment and go get the next one.
So after the incomplete pass, here's second and goal. Moore going to motion over right. They give it to him up the middle. And this one's stopped at the 3-yard line. Give him 4 yards, and they're sitting on third and goal now.
Well, you haven't given up the goal line yet, but this offense is moving closer and closer. Now might be the time defensively to get a little more aggressive, try to stick them with the loss, and make a difficult fourth down decision.
Third and goal for McCarthy. And he finds him in the end zone for the Minnesota touchdown. The Vikings finish off their opening drive. So a touchdown on the board for them, Brock, as they start this game off a perfect 1-for-1 offensively.
Yeah, I'm going to call that scripting for success right there. Can't do it much better than that. And listen, when you script these first plays, you don't always know who the targets are going to be. It's really then relying upon what the defense is trying to take away. They couldn't take away that big old tight end.
Now it's Will Reichert on for the extra point. Extra point sent right down the middle. And the Vikings one up the opposing field goal. They start with 7 on their opening drive. Here's Reichert set to kick this away. Here's Agnew on the return. And pretty solid field position starting out here, Brock. He's tackled at the 29. The Falcons and running back Bijan Robinson getting set to begin another drive. And they've gone to him as a receiver to complement his presence in the backfield, Brock, to some good early results. Drive begins with a run. It's Robinson. And he's able to manage a couple on that run.
You know, they got some positive yards. That's a good thing. But too many plays like that, it just is too hard to pile together, get first downs against the better defenses in this league.
8 yards to go. Let's see how they approach this second down. From the 31. He'll dump this one off to his running back, complete. And they'll bottle this up after a 4-yard gain. That tackle made by Blake Cashman.
I call this quarterback's best friend. Some call it a safety valve, some call it automatic, but it's sure nice as a quarterback when you got a trusty running back over the middle of the field that you can depend on.
Penix on third down. Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop it. And the defense comes through. That's going to back them up and bring up fourth down.
I know quarterbacks get paid a lot of money and a lot of glamour in this league, but today, well, this is a tough day for this QB. He's taking a beating. And whether it means changing up some of the blocking schemes, maybe mixing in a little bit of run, or heck, this quarterback getting the ball out of his hand more quickly, he's got to start protecting himself.
So with the Falcons set to punt on fourth, on comes Bradley Pinion. And now he's going to call for the fair catch and take it just beyond the 30. So no return on that punt. And it's going to be Vikings football. Now for the second time this game, we get a look at this Vikings offense. And so far, they've executed exactly how they drew it up, Brock. Early lead, no points allowed, and a chance now to seize control of the game on their second possession.
And Kate, generally, offenses love to script their first 10 to 15 plays. Well, this entire game script is playing out just the way they want to. That's just discipline with a capital D. The play in the huddle is a running back screen, but it takes discipline for that offensive line to not get downfield. Discipline for that receiver to stay alert, stay aware that he's a viable option as well.
From the shotgun, McCarthy. That'll be caught. Here's Ty Chandler. And that one goes for a gain of 11. And that's going to give the Vikings the first down.
Okay, I know exactly what's going to happen. I've seen it once, I've seen it 100 times. Next week on the practice field, this running back's going to say, see, I'm not just a running back. I can play receiver. And you receivers, you couldn't do my job, but I just showed you I could do yours.
And this one doesn't go far. Only gets a yard there to make it 2nd and 9.
You know, not a ton of yards, but still showing that commitment to the ground game. The type of run that keeps the defense from loading up in coverage and focusing entirely on that passing game.
They'll come to the line here, 2nd and 9. Another carry for him. And he drives this across midfield and down into enemy territory. The rookie from Notre Dame able to take him down.
So much to like about that run, Kate, particularly what he was able to get out of it. The defense, I think, feels a little fortunate they were able to track him down before an even bigger run and crossing that first down marker.
Here he is to throw on 3rd and 2. Able to find Hawkinson. And they get there to take him down right around the 41. A 7-yard pickup, and it moves the chains.
That's what we call situational football. You spend all week working on your nickel passing game package to take advantage of third downs just like that.
Out of the gun, they'll give it to him inside. Call it 7 yards, and now they'll have 2nd down and 3.
This dude was just not going to be stopped, not by the first defender, heck, not even by the second one who was able to bring him down. No, it took a few shots before this crew could finally get this beast down.
2nd and 3 now. Back to the well again. And a bit of deja vu as they stop him at the line once again.
I don't mind that call on the early downs. Give that defense something to think about. You got the inside run between the tackles, and whether it's jet sweeps or a little swing pass, or in that case a toss, make sure you threaten to the outside.
All plays on the table here for 3rd and 3. Back to throw. Here's McCarthy. The screen pass falls incomplete. This one intended for the running back. And that brings up 4th and short.
I think if you look up in phase in the defensive encyclopedia, that is a picture-perfect form of it. He was all over him in coverage, really forcing the incompletion.
And this kick is good. He needed to get all of it there, and he did. And add 3 to their lead as it extends to 7.
A lot of them may make it look automatic, but you get this deep, and those field goals are far from a certainty. It took all his concentration, every bit of his strength, to send that puppy through.
Here's Reichert set to kick this away. On the return, here's Ray McCloud. And this drive will start inside the 25. Now here come the Falcons on offense. They were only on the field for 3 plays their prior series, Brock. Let's see what changes they make to take over here. Offense ready to begin this drive, 1st and 10. A handoff for Robinson, running right. He's only going to manage to get back to the line. Play brought to an end by Jonathan Grenard. No progress on 1st down, and that'll bring up 2nd and 10.
These linebackers of today, they are so quick. They're so twitchy. You don't get a body on them in a hurry, they're going to stick you right at the line of scrimmage.
That's the end of our first quarter. 3 more to go still on Monday night. Neither side separating much so far. More from US Bank Stadium after the break. Back for our second quarter. It's Falcons football. They still have 10 to go here. It's second down. Staying with Robinson. He's corralled after a modest 4-yard gain. That's Harrison Phillips there for the stop.
You make that call to just give yourself a fighting chance on third down, Kate. Take at least a little bite of the big meal between them and the first down marker. And that should make this upcoming call a little less daunting.
And the Vikings add an extra defensive back for this third down. Penix working from the gun. It's into the hands of Mooney. And he's out of bounds beyond the 35-yard line. Give him 8 yards on the play. And the Falcons will have a first.
You're not going to last long in the National Football League if you don't convert a good chunk of your third downs. Nice find there to continue the series.
First down, ball at the 36. Penix. Nabbed by Kyle Pitts. And they'll take him down at the 43-yard line.
He's just one of those guys, Kate. Even when he's not open, he's still a target thanks to that physicality and his ability to just play bully ball. They don't like forcing into coverage, but sometimes when you got a bully like him that can create space, you just find a way to get him the ball.
They go play action. Here's Penix. Flushed out of the pocket. Now he takes it. And he's stopped. Now we'll wait to hear what this flag is all about. So the refs get him for holding, and that's going to back this offense up. Running it after the penalty. And he'll have a small 4-yard chunk there. That tackle made by Blake Cashman.
They'll come away happy getting that type of output on most run plays. It's a sign that they're getting some good push up front, and this running back is seeing the lanes and paying them off.
Vikings defense countering with a nickel look. Third down coming. Running back sent in motion. Third down, it's Penix. He's got a man left. And he's going to get this up to the 45 before he's brought down.
You can earn your money in the NFL in all sorts of different ways, but defensively, in a league where you're just not hitting as much in training camp, you're not tackling as much as they got to in the old days, when you can make a play in the open field, keep it short like that, I promise you some money will follow.
Fourth down, and on comes the punt team, and the kick's away. This punt out of bounds on the fly. We're waiting for the mark. Looks like they're going to say it's short of the 30. It's a new set of downs for him at the 32. The Minnesota offense ready to set up shop again. Starting the drive with a give to Jones. And he's brought down after a nice gain and a first down.
Kate, I know you can see that smile on my face as we stand next to each other. Sure, I love that run, but I'm thinking about some great running backs. In fact, Corey Dillon, who created a lot of negative grades on my play sheet because I didn't want to carry out no fake. I wanted to watch the damage he could do like we just saw.
Here's McCarthy, first and 10. Launches one deep downfield. And he's there to send that one away, incomplete. Looking for Justin Jefferson on that throw. So it'll be second down.
The ability to track the ball, right? Ball skills isn't just knocking it away, and that's a beautiful job there, Kate. But ball skills is also being able to track a ball on a deeper throw like that. If he doesn't swat it away, we're looking at a huge gain.
Now a give up the middle to Jones. And this almost ended worse, but he gets a yard out of it. Leonard Floyd bringing that play to a close. Only a yard for him that time, so now third and 9.
I think one thing you learn, Kate, when you transition from college to the NFL, not every run is going to be a big play. Some of them, well, they're just destined to end in a minimal gain, and some of them will set up that critical play action for later.
He's got him. That's Addison. Decent gain here, but short of the first.
You know, I like the completion. You never turn down a completion. That's just not the right throw to make in that spot to move the chains.
Now we'll see Ryan Wright come on for the Vikings to punt this away on fourth. So this one will go out of bounds, and they'll start the drive inside their own 30. Here's the Falcon offense headed out. Now their last drive, not the one they want to replicate after they were forced to punt it away. Play action, here's Penix. He'll get this complete to Mooney. And they catch up to him, but not until he's got a huge gain and a first down. That chunk worth a nice 21 yards. And it's good for an Atlanta first down.
I may love watching a great thrower, but I love watching a well-done route too, Kate. Make that guy think you're trying to stack him only to drop your hips and cut right inside. Some good work to help reset those chains.
Great start to the drive. They're up in the neighborhood of midfield after just one play. 1st and 10, around to Robinson. And they're on him after about a 2-yard gain. That tackle made by Blake Cashman. He gets a couple on first, and they'll come up 2nd and 8.
Hey, we know running the ball in the NFL is hard, and that play pretty indicative of it. Here's the key, though. At the end of the game, those type of plays got to be in the minority, and the majority have got to do some damage.
Tight end going in motion here. From just shy of midfield on 2nd down. Pitts brings it in. And they're going to touch him down after a short pickup.
Well, that's a modest little drag route, but if you ever just need a safe, short gain on a throw, that's a go-to route to target.
Let's see what they draw up on this 3rd and 7. So early movement from the backfield, Brock. They jumped the gun a bit, and that brings out the flag. So tough to stay set when you've got defenders doing everything they can to make you jump, and, well, they got one of them to move that time. Penalty not helping their cause for this 3rd down. Penix here from the gun. Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop it. And the defense comes through to back them up ahead of 4th down.
Kate, you give him much of the credit for this early lead. Heck, give every player in that defense now their 4th sack of this game credit, because that ambush on the quarterback, a big reason why they're in control of this game.
The Falcons getting ready for the punt. It'll be Bradley Pinion doing the honors. And he's certainly been staying busy. Once again, he's out to punt and sends this flying. Fair catch made, a little beyond the 20-yard line. No return on that punt. And they'll get ready to go on offense. Drive starts out with a 1st and 10. They'll go play action here. It's McCarthy. Brought in right side by Moore. And he'll go down after fighting his way to the 32.
It's what these quarterbacks are having to do more often now than ever before in football. Show off a little mobility. Get outside the pocket and find that open man.
In a good spot here, 2nd and inches. From the 32. Has him on the quick hitter. And this one's brought to a halt at about the 36-yard line. A pickup of 2, maybe 3, but most importantly, Brock, that's enough to move the sticks.
I'm sure, Coach, the play caller doesn't mind making the job a little bit easier. You know, play calling's a lot simpler and easier when you count on the offense to move the chains on those early downs.
Throwing on first, it's McCarthy. He rolls to his right. He's keeping it. And he'll go down, and we'll say right at the 39-yard line.
Tick, 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 tick. You know, his internal clock right there told him it was time to escape, and good thing he listened to it. He was able to make something out of nothing and at least move them forward.
2nd down now, 7 to go. Straight ahead they go with Jones. And he's able to get back to the line, but that is all. No gain on the play, and it brings up 3rd and 7.
As that linebacker makes that tackle right in the middle of the field, all I'm thinking about right now, Kate's training camp. Because that's the middle drill right there. That is textbook. What you do in training camp, coming to life when it matters.
McCarthy throwing on 3rd down. Stays in the pocket, and he just gets rid of this one, but unfortunately, that means 4th down coming up.
There was almost no resistance offered against a rush that came off the line ready to maul anything in sight. It was all the QB could do to get rid of that before he gets absolutely clobbered.
Ryan Wright on to punt, and he's getting the call for the 2nd time this game. It's fielded at the 14. And he gets his guys a few yards before they bring him down on the return. It's a 61-yard punt that time. And the Falcons will take over. They'll get this drive started. 1st and 10. From the shotgun, Penix finds the in route complete. Gets some space around midfield. And they finally bring him down, but that is a big gain and a new set of downs. Give him 30 yards on that one. And the Falcons will have a 1st.
You know, Kate, we often talk about flipping the field in special teams, right? A kick return, a good punt. Well, an explosive play like that does the exact same thing. Look at the difference in field position. By hitting on that shot, you've totally flipped the field and the tone of this drive.
On 1st down, here's Penix. He fires one deep down the middle, and there's a man there. It's intercepted. And the Vikings take over after forcing the 1st turnover of this ballgame. Well, I know I don't need to tell you, partner, but if you're going to try to get aggressive, really push a throw downfield like that, you have to be smart about how you do it.
Yeah, that is spot on, Kate. If you've got to find that spot when you know the coverage won't be able to hold up, especially as you go 20, 30, 40 yards down the field. Hey, listen, these defenders in the league today, you throw a ball deep down the field like that, it turns into a 50-50 ball. More times than not, they can make a play and take it away just as they did.
They're out and set, 1st and 10. From the gun, Jones gets it. And he found some running room for a nice gain. Give him 9 yards. He almost moved the chains there. It's going to be 2nd and 1.
Well, that doesn't net a 1st down. You get yards like that in the run game, you will take it in the NFL.
Nice spot here for the offense. It's 2nd and 1. On play action now, McCarthy. Hockenson reels it in. And they're going to bring him down just on the other side of midfield. Give him 15 yards on the pickup there. And it'll bring up a Minnesota 1st down.
When you see play action, do all you can to get your eyes to the tight end, because that's their bread and butter. That play action gives him time off the line, helps chip a rusher, or even helps sell that fake. And then when he releases, he gets out, he gets some leverage. He gets to that edge before the defender can cover him.
Just a gain of 1, and that brings up 2nd and 9.
Hurry, hurry! Hurry, hurry!
So it's the 2-minute warning here from Minneapolis. It's the Vikings, who have it, 2nd and 9. From the shotgun, McCarthy. That's into the hands of Moore. And they get there to take him down right around the 41. Third and a lone yard coming up. Looking to throw, McCarthy. Able to find Jones. And he's tackled with the 1st down yardage.
This dude just simply got a nose for the marker no matter how they get him the ball, Kate. Hand it to him, and he sniffs out that 1st down. Get it to him on a screen, and it's no different. He surges ahead and keeps this drive moving.
Here's 1st and 10 from the 34. From the shotgun, McCarthy. Has the connection to Hockenson. And they bring him down after the play reaches the 26.
That is the epitome of staying on schedule. That kind of completion right there on first down, well, it opens up the entirety of the playbook for second down. And the third and short in your back pocket, you can get even more aggressive and take that shot.
After a good pickup, they're set up with second and short. Back to the air, McCarthy. Wow, wide open here, complete. Touchdown, Minnesota. So, Brock, this offense looking sharp here in the first half as they extend their lead.
You know, and when things are going well, sometimes you really just get into a groove. And this is a unit that's putting the pieces together.
Reichert on for the point after. The point after splits the uprights. And the Vikings double their lead to 14. Reichert set to kick this away. Here's Agnew on the return. And he gets across the 30 before he's brought down. The Falcons with the football late in the first half. And down a couple of scores, Brock. They probably try to get this into field goal range to trim that lead before halftime. It's a new set of downs for him at the 32. Penix on first down. An alert play defensively there. He got a hand on it to tip it away, and that makes it second down.
I hate those situations, Kate, as a QB. I'm looking for an open passing lane, and I can't find one anywhere. He thought he had one available. Defense did a better job of knocking it away.
Couldn't connect on first. It's second down. Penix working from the gun. This one is tipped away and incomplete. Good positioning to make a play on it. That forces third down.
Not an open passing lane to be found anywhere. He took what he thought was the best one available, and they still managed to tip the ball around.
No connection on the last play, and now it's third down. Penix. Cover man is there, and he harmlessly knocks it away. Incomplete.
That's just simply great positioning to swat the ball away. He stayed in a spot where he could disrupt the throw before the target and make a play on it.
They'll punch it away again. Bradley Pinion headed back out. And he'll try to hit this one well. And he finally gets a hold of one here. This is hit far. And he's brought down before the return gets far. The Vikings and their QB J.J. McCarthy returning to the field on offense. And at the pace he's begun the game throwing the football, Brock, he is in line for a special type of performance if they need to keep throwing it until the end. All right, keeping it simple. They're just going to call a give right up the middle. And a couple of teammates combining there for the stop after just 1 yard. So we've reached halftime in Minneapolis with the Vikings out in front at the break. Now we'll send you south to our Orlando studios for the EA Sports Halftime Report.
As they were looking like a well-oiled machine in the first half of play.
All right, thank you, Coach, and we are back and about set to begin the second half. Out to kick it away. Here's Pinion. Returning it from the 4. And he's going to make this to the 28 before going down. The Vikings are being led back out there on offense by their quarterback. And as we see some of the highlights from their showing, his work a big part of why they're in front right now. Having a nice, solid game as their offensive leader. I think we can say he's had a firm grip on the wheel and has really driven them to this advantage. And the drive will start out with a 1st and 10. Out of the gun, a give to Jones. And he's caught behind the line for a loss.
Well, he was supposed to be the one who chipped away a few and got a new set of downs started right in rhythm. Instead, he's now forced to pick himself from behind the line thanks to a great effort defensively.
Back to the line they go. It's 2nd down. Operating from the gun, it's McCarthy. Moore's got it! And it's good yardage, but they tackle him short of the sticks. Here they come. This is 3rd and 5. McCarthy throwing here. And it's incomplete, and that's going to bring up 4th down.
You hear defensive coaches on every practice field we're on preach not giving up the big play, especially at the NFL level. They'll need to stay vigilant because they're definitely going to use that receiver to take the lid off this defense again.
The Vikings getting their punt team out. And he sends this away. Definitely his best kick of the game thus far. He has it at the 22. And before that return amounts to much, they bring him down. Here's Atlanta ready to take over possession. And this game might be going better if he could have some more time just to work back there. This pass rush has been all over them. Really keeps taking this offense out of any grooves that they've managed to get into.
Okay, I like to say in life there's energy givers and there's energy vampires.
Yeah.
And for this defense, these sacks right here, they're such energy givers. And man, it's like a vampire sucking the juice out of an offense.
Yeah, I love that. And he found some running room for a nice gain. Good rip on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 2.
I'm not kidding you, Kate. A run of that length at the NFL level, honestly, is the equivalent of a run of 15-plus at the high school level. It's hard in the run game to make yards, and they just got a very successful one.
We'll go play action. Here's Penix. Nothing there left side as it ends up incomplete. Well, no look on his first look of the game, so it's going to be 3rd and short coming up.
You need to buy your receivers enough time to get open along their route, and your quarterback enough time to find and hit them with the throw. When the line doesn't hold up, then completions follow.
3rd down give to Robinson, and he's brought down for a loss.
If only this defense could look like that on every play, Kate. They were angry, motivated, focused, and they took that anger out on him and this offense, forcing a 4th down.
They'll send out the punting unit. And this is going to be his 4th effort tonight. Same as a touchback here. Fair catch made at the 20. The Vikings offense back to the field now. And taking a look at these highlights, Brock, just a reminder of the type of game that they have had throwing the football. It really has been the key to their success.
Yeah, they've just not only stayed on schedule here, Kate. Man, they've made some music, right? Great rhythm.
Yeah.
Not just ahead of schedule, but huge plays have followed. We've seen a lot of different looks and wrinkles throughout this performance, and it's been a joy to watch.
1st and 10. Here's McCarthy. Hits him on the in route. And he'll get it out to the 34 before he's tracked down. It's a 13-yard play, and that's enough for the 1st.
I know the Combine tries to test everything it possibly can physically, but I don't know how you test courage at the Combine because there's nobody defending you. Nobody wants to hit you. But that was the epitome of courage to make that in cut and make the catch.
1st and 10, here's Jones. Across the 45 and still going. And he's going to get all the way up to the midfield stripe. That play good for 17 on a 1st down.
Kate, don't think for a second this is time you step off the gas. You can feel this defense, right? They're on their heels. And now's the best chance to go push the envelope and get aggressive.
They send a man in motion. 1st down, and they go right back to it. And he's going to have this one down to the 43 on a good run. Good run, gets him 7. That brings up 2nd and 3.
That does not show up on any explosive stat sheet, but let me tell you, Kate, that's the real deal right there. You run for that kind of yardage consistently in the NFL, you do set yourself up for success.
They're going play action. Able to get it to Moore. And he's going to get it out past the 40 before he goes out. It's a gain of 4 there, and that's going to give the Vikings the 1st down.
It sure seemed like he knew exactly where he was going with that right off the snap.
New set of downs for him at the 38. Here's Jones. And he's only going to get 2 or 3 yards on that one.
That's the kind of run play that feels like tug-of-war at field day. And you're just not moving the other side. Just a short run. Neither side feels particularly good about it. And we'll move to the next.
2nd down now, 7 to go. Jones once more. And he'll get it down to the 24-yard line. It's a pickup of 11. And it'll bring up a Minnesota 1st down.
Hey, these are the type of games he's counted on to get when they're available. Unfortunately, we had tremendous vision to see the seam and get through it before that window could close.
Still on the move, coming to the line for 1st and 10. Staying on the ground with Jones. He gets it ahead, winds up with about 3. A.J. Terrell making that stop. Give him a few yards on that run. It's 2nd and 7. A give left side to Jones. And defenders are there to get him at the line. Tackled by Rook Orororo. No gain on the play, and it brings up 3rd and 7.
Job one of so many D tackles in this league is eat up space. Don't get moved off your spot. But the difference makers, they just not only eat the space, they eat those runners too.
They'll throw on 3rd and long. He has the first over the middle. And he's brought down inside the 10 at the 9. It's a real solid pickup, 12 yards, and it rewards him with a 1st and goal.
You know, they call that the money down for a reason, because you're just simply not going to last long in the NFL if you don't convert a good portion of your 3rd downs. It's the money down. And nice to see them roll the dice and continue the series.
They'll break the huddle and come up on 1st and goal. Working inside the red zone. Has it in close.
Good luck defending that short yardage slant. Just not going to happen. There's a reason. This is a go-to play for just about any quarterback in every situation.
The nose of the football inside the 1. Here's 2nd and goal. McCarthy looking to throw. And he finds him in the end zone for the Minnesota touchdown. The Vikings make it a 3-possession game. Jordan Addison the touchdown. His 2nd scoring catch of the game. No hesitation on that throw. He got the guy he wanted right away, and he got it to him for the touchdown.
You know, it's great, Kate, to draw up plays that have all sorts of different options, but it's even better when you don't have to get to your 2nd read. His first broke open just like they planned, and that's 6 in the end.
Record there to tack on the extra point. And the Vikings stretch their lead to 21. Reichard set to kick this away. McLeod now returning it. And look at this return. This return makes it up to the 37 as he's tackled. The Falcons ready for their next possession. And I'm sure they're tired of bringing out the punter, Brock. They're hopefully going to give him some rest this time around and find some points to go after that lead. Penix now on first down. Looking right, and he finds him. And they're going to bring him down just on the other side of midfield. They gain 14 on the play. And it's good for an Atlanta first down.
Well, that is pretty darn impeccable timing between the two. They hit a curl route of that length. It takes great anticipation and precision by the quarterback, and the receiver on the other end finishing it, doing his job.
And that's good yardage there with a new set of downs to boot.
Offensive coordinators tell us all the time, big runs only happen with coordinated efforts. Great blocking to spring them. Guys hitting blocks downfield, and a back who can show off his wheels.
First down now, ball at the 39-yard line. Play action, here's Penix. Pocket isn't holding up, they're able to drop it. And the big play drives them backwards. Second down coming up.
And right there's the danger, Kate, when you put the ball in the air. How many times do we see these coordinators, when you get a nice run, right, you gain some steam on the ground, you stick with the ground game. They don't, they call the pass, and the defense reacts, and reacts well with a sack.
Everyone's prepped, it's second down now. Another try following the sack. That's going to be an incomplete pass on the throw to the right. That throw was looking for Kyle Pitts. So now it's going to be third and long.
That is normally a gimme for this offense, these short throws. But the defense, well, they had just enough influence on that play to force the incompletion.
So after that prior incompletion, we've got third down. From the shotgun, Penix. Complete beyond the marker. And he's into the end zone for an Atlanta touchdown. The Falcons shrinking the lead some in the third. So sensational work by the skill man there, Brock. Anytime you can make your quarterback look that good, you know he appreciates it.
That's a quarterback's best friend, no question. But on the other side, gosh, defensively, you got to get that skill player down. Period, yeah. End of story. You can't give up that much yards after catch.
Young Hui Koo on for the point after. Right down the middle, it's good. And the Falcons get it back to a 14-point game. Now to kick it away, here's Pinion. This return starts at the 5. He's stopped on the return at the 27. The Vikings and Aaron Jones headed back out there on offense. And those legs must be tired, but he ain't stopping, Brock. Not with the type of game that he's been having for himself on the ground. Offense ready to begin this drive, 1st and 10. They'll go play action here. It's McCarthy. That's completed right side. And they catch up to him, but not until he's got a huge gain and a first down. A big play, 23 yards to move those chains.
That is what elite offenses are all about. Why worry about 3 downs when you need only 1? Move the chains in one play and keep driving that defense backwards.
One play in, and already they're close to midfield. That's Jefferson. He's got it. And he gets it through the midfield stripe and onto the Falcons side of the field.
It takes a certain level of fearlessness, craziness to work over the middle of the field in this league. You're fighting through guys as you go, and all the while you know you could take a lick at any time.
8 yards to go. Let's see how they approach this second down. On play action now, McCarthy. Connects on the crosser. And he's taken down at the 30. A 19-yard pickup, and that's going to move the chains.
You know, Kate, you'll find teams go to this crossing route concept sometimes a dozen times a game. And a lot of times it's for shorter yardage, but sometimes things break in the right coverage for a much bigger impact play, just like that.
On the carry, this is Jones. And that run very short, only getting to the 27. 3 yards on the first down play, and that brings up 2nd and 7. Running right, this is Jones. And he got it real close, but stopped just about a yard or so shy of that first down.
You know, that's a good run right there to keep the offense on schedule. If he can average that type of yards per carry, this guy's going to be more than all right with letting him lead the show.
Here we go, 3rd and less than a yard. From the shotgun, McCarthy. That's caught for the first. And he'll go down. Looks like they're marking him at the 11. 8 yards on the gain, and the drive continues forward.
You know, it sure seems like he knew exactly where he was going with that before the snap. That's a pre-snap decision that led to a post-snap first down.
Only 1 quarter remains in our final game of the week. That's the end of the 3rd. This one not out of reach quite yet, but it is a 2-score game to begin the 4th. All right, set now, 1st and 10. It's Jones on the toss. And they bring him down at the 7-yard line. It's a 4-yard pickup, and that's going to bring up 2nd and 6.
Yeah, that defense was flying to the ball. You see that outside toss. This is a pursuit drill that they work on over and over again. Get to that toss before it can really get started.
2nd and 6 coming up here. From the shotgun, McCarthy. Into traffic, complete. And he'll pick up enough to move the chains.
Not met many receivers in my life that don't love the spotlight, but you got to earn your place there. The easy way to do it, catches just like that, going up into double coverage and making the play anyway.
1st and goal now as they try to pad this lead. And he runs it across, touchdown! The Vikings make it a 3-score game in the 4th. J.J. McCarthy, the touchdown. His 4th total score of the game. Wow, Brock, hard to imagine a more effective play in their entire playbook for that particular spot right there.
You know, you get in this red zone, Kate, you want the ball in the hands of the guys you do trust the most to score. In a lot of cases, well, you trust your quarterback, and all he did was add to that trust.
Reichert on for the point after. Extra point sent right down the middle. And the Vikings stretch their lead to 21. Here's Reichert set to kick this away. Here's Agnew on the return. And this return gets to the 30 before he stopped. Onto the field runs the Atlanta offense. And I think they'd be content doing everything the same as their prior drive and getting another touchdown here. 1st and 10 now from the 30. Penix here from the gun. And he just hucks this one away. Wasn't going to risk a throw or force something. It brings up 2nd down. Penix working from the gun. Has him on the quick hitter. And a nice gain here, but it stopped short of the 1st.
Kate, one thing I learned from the late, great Mike Leach is, yeah, the system was called air raid, but it wasn't just attacking downfield. His philosophy, and it played out right there, is you have to attack every inch of the field, both vertically and horizontally, without routes or in routes, just like that.
It's tipped away and it's going to hit the ground incomplete. Defender winning that rep. That brings up 4th down.
I think you're seeing why they like this guy in coverage, man. He reacts well to throws and is so adept in breaking up passes right through contact or before they ever reach the target.
Offense still staying out after the incompletion. They're going to try on 4th. They'll run it with Robinson. And the defense gets there to force a small loss. And that run won't come close. That's a turnover on downs.
These 4th down runs, it's all about want to and will. Want to keep it conservative offensively, try to move it across, but that defense was having none of it. And now they get themselves off the field.
Now the Minnesota offense trotting out. With touchdowns on their last 2 drives, Brock, they're playing some of their best offense here. Could they try for 3 in a row despite the lead? Let's find out. And they'll stop him after he rolls downhill to the 32. A nice 6-yard pickup. They're going to have 2nd and 4.
That run's not going to turn many heads, but at the end of the year, I promise you, if you average over 5 yards a run, you're going to be a Pro Bowler.
After a good pickup, they've got 2nd and 4. Addison going to motion over left. 2nd down carry for Jones. And he's going to take this only to about the 31. They managed a single yard that time. They're going to have to solve 3rd down and 4. Operating from the gun, it's McCarthy. Defender arrives right as the ball does, and the hit knocks it free. Incomplete. Well, Brock, this substantial deficit sure hasn't toned the edge that this defense is playing with, huh? If anything, feels like they might be getting more aggressive, looking to make some sort of impact play.
And that's because turnovers are really the name of the game for this defense at this point, Kate. That aggressiveness still super welcome, no question. But they know it's not just incompletions, it's taking the ball away that's next. Get another shot across the bow of a ship that's already sinking here, Kate. He could have made that field goal. Heck, he could have turned around and kicked it directly at his coach because it feels like they've got this one in hand.
Here's Reichert set to kick this away. McLeod now returning it. Tackle made as the return gets it out to the 32. The offense headed back to the field. And the last time we saw them, Brock, they took a risk, went for it on their own half of the field, but it didn't work out. It's a new set of downs for him at the 32. On 1st down, here's Penix. Dumps it off to his running back. And he's going to bring it up to the 40-yard line before he stopped.
That's what you call efficiency. Exactly what you're looking for in 1st down. Textbook. It sets up 2nd and very manageable, and then creates that space if you want to take a shot downfield.
After a good pickup, they're set up with 2nd and short. Penix. Short pass brought in. And he'll be out of bounds at his own 45. They'll say he got 5 there, but Brock, all they care about is the 1st down that comes with it.
They like to say it's about the Jimmies and the Joes. I think that's about the X's and the O's. That's a well-drawn-up completion that nets them a 1st down.
Ball on the 45, 1st and 10. Penix now. Escapes the pocket. Now he takes it. Gets out of harm's way after stringing together some nice yards on that run.
You know, Kate, back in the day, we had a slip and slide at practice for moments just like that. Actually practicing how to slide and get out of harm's way. Nice gain on the play, and denied that defense yet another chance to take a shot on him.
Nice spot here for the offense. It's 2nd and 1. To the air with Penix. Got a man. Robinson has it. And that short gain is enough for a new set of downs.
Nice to see that connection, that chemistry working between the two of them.
They'll head up 1st and 10 from the 42. Here's Penix. And oh, someone stepped in. It's intercepted. Ivan Pace has got it.
Well, obviously not the cleanest game without 2 interceptions, but here's the key. This is where mental toughness for a quarterback becomes so critical. And frankly, why some of the best QBs playing today have baseball in their background, because you flush your mistakes. Okay, you strike out, you throw an interception, but you got to go get it in that next series. Got to put these interceptions behind and press forward ahead.
The Vikings taking the field on offense. Even though they've got a 3-score lead, still a lot of time left, so they're going to try to grow it even further. Moore going to motion over right. Okay, the wide receiver's going to get it to begin the drive. And into a sea of bodies he goes. Looks like they'll get about 3 out of it.
Tried to mix in a little wide receiver carry and catch this defense on its heels. We've seen it work time and again, and it almost got there. Without that tackle, we could have seen a big gainer. But give some credit to the defense where credit is due.
Now a give up the middle to Jones. And once again, he doesn't manage much before getting brought down. They pick up 1 on the run. Need more, though. That takes him to 3rd and 5. This is Jones. And he's tackled with the 1st down yardage.
Ask for a little bit more on that one. Ask that running back to come up with more than he's used to on 3rd down. He made it look like just another day at the office. I wouldn't expect every conversion to go as smoothly. He sure made that one look routine.
Going to the ground again on 1st. And he's able to take this up pretty close to that 40-yard line. Give him 4 that time, so 6 to go on 2nd down. Straight ahead they go with Jones. And he's able to reach the 40 on that play. They pick up 1 on the run. Need more, though. That takes him to 3rd and 5. From the gun, Jones gets it. And he'll get it down for a solid gain to about the 37. A 40-yard pickup there, and that makes the decision even tougher now. 4th and short. McCarthy to throw for it. He goes back to him yet again, complete. And he's able to drive this to the 29 before the stop. That's a clutch 7-yard pickup, and it pays off the call to go for it on 4th down.
Oh, I love 4th downs. It just brings out the very best, and you get to see how you handle the most pressure, and it turns out well, they handled it pretty darn well, and now they'll keep pushing.
They give to Jones, right side. And he's caught behind the line for a loss.
You know how we hear about teams and quarterbacks avoid targeting a stud cornerback, just throwing away from him? Well, maybe they should avoid running it anywhere near this guy. He's having no issue stopping these plays cold.
All right, here we go, 2nd down. Here's McCarthy to throw. Able to find Hawkinson. And he's tackled for a short gain.
Quarterbacks will look for their tight end short in just about any situation. They take away the deeper options. Well, there's their consistent source of positive yardage, the trusty tight end.
A less than ideal 3rd and 8 here. Now a give to Jones. And he's taken down with a short gain to the 25. Still well short after the 3-yard run. It's going to be 4th down and 6. So for the 3rd time tonight, they're going to bring him out for a field goal try. This 42 yards from the right hash. Smith able to put it through. And that grows the lead to 27.
So many of these players on the field, Kate, they just strive for consistency, but not the kickers. They strive for perfection, and so far, he's just that.
Here's Reichert set to kick this away. Here's Agnew on the return. And he's brought down just inside the 25 on the return. The Falcons and Michael Penix Jr. set to take over again. And as we can see here, it hasn't been the easiest game for him to operate out there, right? Number of rough moments for him. This defense able to pick him off twice to highlight their performance against him. Drive starts out with a 1st and 10. Trying to shake off the interception. He's looking to throw. Into the hands of Pitts. And he'll be brought down along the 25-yard line.
Sometimes when you're just looking to move it forward, get some small yards on a throw, quarterback's best friend, security blanket. And when it's a big old tight end, that's an extra bonus.
It's the 2-minute warning here in Minneapolis. Falcons hoping to make it look a little better before time runs out. They'll come to the line here, 2nd and 9. Here's Penix to throw. Pitts brings it in. And he'll push this upfield and earn them a new set of downs.
Sure seems like he knew exactly what he wanted, and he got it, going right where he wanted to with the ball off the snap.
Markers reset, ball at the 37. Penix on 1st down. And that one's unsuccessful. Just got a hand up on that to break it up. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
Man, that ball looked good out of his hands. It just couldn't get through the defense cleanly. Somebody tips it away and saves a potential completion.
So after the incompletion, here comes the 2nd down call. And again, it's Penix. And this one's dropped for what would have been a nice gain.
Oh, that drop is such a bummer because it ruins the payoff of such a well-designed play, Kate. Got the man open, beat the coverage, but then you got to go finish it. You got to go make that catch. I will say, keep that one in mind. They could revisit that play in the future.
3rd down, it's Penix. A bit of desperation on this deep shot. And that's going to be knocked away, incomplete. Clean breakup on that throw. And they're going to be stuck with a 4th and long.
Read and react, read and react, read and react. Got to read where the quarterback's eyes are going. And you got to react as he begins to throw to get to a spot and knock it away.
Desperation time here on 4th. They connect for the 1st. And he'll be taken down, but not until he reaches that 45-yard line. They'll keep this drive moving after a big 18-yard pickup on 4th down.
I love those moments of truth. We get to see exactly how they handle it when all the pressure of the drive's right on them. Turns out, handled it pretty darn well, and now they'll keep pushing on.
Penix now on 1st down. He'll get this complete to Pitts. And he's going to get it out past the 40 before he goes out.
I know I could sound like a broken record when I talk about timing and getting the ball out on time and on rhythm, but these outcuts, it is so imperative, and the best of them make it look oh so easy.
After a good pickup, they've got 2nd and 4. From the 39. Searches from the... And this time they're going to get there, and they drop it. And that pushes them back, 3rd down coming up.
Time we offered some serious blanket praise for this entire group defensively. The guys up front, they've certainly generated the pressure. Everybody on the back end in coverage, well, they're holding down their assignments to delay these throws. This is going to be one tomorrow, one fun tape to watch, because 6 sacks, it's hard to come by in this league.
3rd and 6 for them to figure out now. From the shotgun, Penix. Able to hit Robinson, complete. And he's going to be taken down a yard shy of the 25. So they are indeed kings in the north as the Vikings win it at home. Well, we know they had high hopes when they entered the stadium earlier today, Brock. We saw it, but it can be so tough to win on the road. And there's some dejected faces now as they leave this football field.
Oh, and that flight home, oh, it's going to be a long one, a silent one, as they ruminate on the outcome of this game. You never like taking one on the chin, even on the road. And heading home just gives them all extra time to think about what went wrong, but more importantly, how to fix it.
So for Brock Eward, our incredible crew, everybody here at EA Sports, I'm Kate Scott signing off. We'll see you next time. The Vikings emerge as winners as we bid you farewell from Minneapolis.